Hello, going to be doing a quick look at Parade's performance. So to start off with, just going to be on very high settings. VSync is off, although this doesn't seem to be working properly. I'll show that later. Advanced settings, everything here is maxed out. This is just either on or off, well, half full or off, not much going on there. And then your AA types are nothing, FXAA, or different types of SMAA, so that's fine. Anisotropic filtering, if you're on anything below very high, this will default to either 8 times for high or 4 times for medium. I'm not sure what for low. Just turn up to 16 times usually is the rule with that. Texture quality is very high at 1440p, which is what I'm running at. This tends to be anywhere from 4 to 5 gigs at the moment, so should be easily handled by most high-end cards. And these all are very high as well. Audio, as a side note, once the menu works. This game is a little bit buggy at the moment. It's loading textures even though no settings have been changed. It will do this every time you change settings, I should imagine every time you change the texture setting, that is. It will put you on that little load. Volume on this, even at this low, music seems to be spiking a lot, and speech volume also seems rather unbalanced. Before I jump into gameplay here, this is within the first 20 minutes of the game. We are very close to the start, so there will be some dialogue from NPCs, but should be as spoiler free as possible due to being right near the start of the game. There should be a few enemies around here. Frame rate wise, we're at around about 100 FPS on max settings. I've seen it dip to about 80 and spike up to about 120, 130. Right. See, that's dropping to about 80ish, but it should come back up as going to the main room. That's an enemy's corpse. I'm just going to take his shit. And that box is not a box, it's actually a mimic. Right, I should have the keycard for this. That's another friendly Dave right there. He comes up and says hi. Even though this is glass, he doesn't actually do anything. So you just slap him in the face. Drop out of broken. I do not have any repair skill. There's another mimic. So we're going to slap him. And that was really loud. And that's what I mean about these volume spikes. So, also with volume, this is the first gun you get. It's basically like a stasis gun. You could fire it on things. Touch it there. You fire it on things and it basically covers them in glue, which means they can't move, but it doesn't hurt the enemy. You can apparently also use on fire or electricity to solve puzzles and whatnot, but also use it as a platform to stand on. That's how loud the gun is. It seems really quiet, so I'm guessing there is some volume problems in this game. When I first loaded it up, there was volume on the main menu, but then as I was entered the game, all volume went off. So I'm guessing there's a bug there. Take this guy's baseball glove. I just saw Mimic go that way.
There, in the foyer. Grab the neuromod you see in the display case. Normally it's a fake, but I swapped in a real one for you. The neuromods are critical.
Hey, did he just free his friend? You're not allowed to do that.
To install new aptitudes. I've already updated your transcribe with the list you requested. Take a look.
Right, so let's quickly kill these guys and then I shall bump it down in settings. These guys hurt, by the way. Right. I thought it was a phantom then, just stood there. Come back, you little shit. Now the thing with mimics is that they crawl off and then you look around the room and try to figure out what it is. So is he the chair? Is he the teacup? Or is he now at that chair? No? I could have swore he just became that chair. No? No, there's something on the table. So yeah, you get to play hide and seek with these guys, which is nice. I might as well take the plaid. So in the foyer here we are at around about 90 FPS. If I quickly come in, drop it to high. High doesn't seem to give too much performance benefit over normal. Oh, not normal, very high. I say I've got to reload textures. In case you're wondering, my CPU is the 5820K. I'll put them full specs in the description below the video. Since just reinstalled, well, put a new CPU in. Right, so we're at like 90-ish. Now we're up to about 105, 110, 101. So anywhere from 10 to 20% gains, going from max to medium, not medium, high. Oh wow, a map. That's handy. Oh god. Yes. But mouse wheel favourites like this. I won't pick that up. Having this, like, I'm not sure if this reminds anybody else, with like, it says here like you can carry this but you need leverage too, and now all the objects are interactable. It really reminds me of Deus Ex. Yeah, I thought he was going to be one of those. Where did his body go? I'm going to quickly heal by stuffing my face with food. So yeah, you get the right perk, you could just pick up this coffee table, then use it as a weapon. This is one fancy ass toilet. It's got a pedal as well. What the hell? I don't understand. But whatever. Is there going to be a mimic in one of these toilets, or one of these toilets going to be a mimic? I might as well take the toilet paper out. Why not? Secret ending. Right, so just go back into the foyer. Let's say around about 100-ish in terms of frame rate, and I'll quickly drop it down to medium. Personally on my end, difference between high and very high, there's not much frame rate difference, but there's also not a huge amount of visual difference. Might be worth doing if you're struggling to hit 60, since you don't seem to be losing too much. We'll see here if VRAM usage actually changes. Still seems to be around about just under 5 gig. So frame rate here is bumped up even more, so now we're at like 130, 140 sometimes. I might be able to show it if I just like go stare at the floor. You can see there my GPU usage has dropped down to 80%. That is the third percentage number on the GPU, the first is power. So sat at 144 FPS and 80% GPU usage leads me to believe that even with VSync off, this game is still VSynced. So if I turn VSync on, let's see if that actually changes anything. Nope. So yeah, as far as I can tell, sadly VSync does nothing, so I don't know if it has screen tearing differences on my G-Sync panel, it doesn't really affect me. Might be worth checking if you're having screen tearing problems, just try changing that, since they both seem to be doing the same thing, maybe just one of them helps with screen tearing. Let's take his stuff. I hope he wasn't security guard, but all you carried around was flowers. Oh, we got. Oh, I wanted to actually use the projector to see if it had any useful information, but what the hell, we're taking it now. But yeah, downside of this means I can't really show what the frame rate would be like on low settings. I'll quickly swap to it so you can see GPU usage and also what it looks like. Excuse me. Quickly reload everything again. But on a side note, CPU usage seems fine. It's on the CryEngine, which is quite multi-threaded, but you can see here it's using this CPU a lot, and the other one's, well, that one as well, so quite heavy on 2 cores, and then kind of like a medium load on everything else. But yeah, low settings you can see it looks a lot flatter, a lot of the lighting looks like it's taken away, not much shadows going on. Still, I don't know, looks okay. Rather aliased, like very aliased. That rating looks terrible. But see, GPU usage is at like 75% and we're at 144 FPS. So, as a rough guesstimate, you should be at around about, what, an extra 30 FPS above this, about 170 to 180, if they fix the VSync issue. Which is not bad at all. This game seems on par in terms of maybe around about Doom levels in terms of performance at max settings, or near there. Quickly just change this back again. Oh god, that was weird. Nice little game of Snake with a bloody loading. Just make sure I change everything back. Yes, it has. But yeah, there has the same thing that maybe Crisis did, where some of the filtering on the lines, like stuff there. Not sure if I saw it. Oh, there's a phantom. No, there's a mimic. I like how just standing around and he just like comes to join the party. Where did his body go? Over there. They seem to die with some weird momentum because they keep flailing about. But yeah, so to sum it all up, the game seems to run really well. If you have a 1070, then like 1440p is going to be a piece of cake. Not too sure about 4K, maybe, but you might be pushing it, to be honest. Let's see if I've got that set up. We could try it, I think. Oh, yep. It does not want to confirm. I'll do the keyboard there. 4K, nah, you're just a bit under what you want really. 40 FPS. Frame times are terrible. But nah, 1440p seems to be very doable. And I should imagine 4K on either high to medium and also a 1080 on high setting should be perfectly fine. Sorry, my throat's dying. And then a 1080 Ti, I should imagine be able to run this maxed out at 4K. Right guys, thanks for your time. If you have any questions, just hit me up in the comments section, and thank you for watching.